I woke before sunrise, as I always do, letting the quiet fill the mansion. Light poured through the tall windows in thin, sharp lines, illuminating the halls and rooms I had earned piece by piece. It wasn't triumphant, not loud, not ostentatious. It was mine, and that alone made it feel different. 13 years had passed since my sister had turned the entire family against me. 13 years of absence, of being rewritten in whispered judgments and half-true stories I wasn't allowed to correct. 13 years of birthdays, weddings, and holidays I hadn't been invited to. Every event another reminder that I had been erased from their world. My business had grown slowly, almost imperceptibly at first. It wasn't sudden luck. It wasn't some dramatic overnight success story. Each contract, each client, each small win had been a quiet affirmation that I existed outside their narrative, that I could define myself when they refused to. And now here I was, a mansion that reflected neither vengeance nor obsession, only careful planning and steady accumulation. I hadn't unpacked fully yet. There was a subtle weight in leaving things in boxes, letting the space breathe before it became home. And then she arrived. She came as if she had every right. Keys jingled, heels clicked on marble floors. Her presence filled the rooms without permission. "Hey, I'm moving in since," she said casually, as if 13 years of absence had been nothing. I froze, the old tension rising in my chest, familiar yet sharper for its rarity. I remembered everything, the late-night phone calls that went unanswered, the quiet accusations at family gatherings, the relatives who hinted I had never been good enough. I felt the old pull to comply, to keep peace, but I also recognized how deeply that instinct had cost me before. I said nothing. She began unpacking, treating the space as if it had always been shared. I walked the halls silently, observing the way she placed her things, the casual assumption that my life could be absorbed into hers without warning or apology. Memories pressed forward, every slight, every whispered accusation, every absence, and then slowly the anger settled into something quieter, measured, observant. I didn't call the police. I didn't shout or threaten. I called the lawyer who had handled the property documentation, letting authority intervene where confrontation might have faltered. When she had arrived, the lawyer stepped in calmly and unmistakably, presenting documentation. The mansion belonged solely to me. Her face changed in that moment. Familiarity faltered, the assumption she had carried for so long cracking like a pane of glass. There was no screaming, no dramatic collapse, just the quiet, undeniable recognition that her power, assumed for years, no longer existed here. She hesitated, eyes darting to the lawyer, then back to me. You can't just," she started, but the words fell flat. There was no leverage left. I remained silent. Silence had always been my shield. Now it was my statement. Every hesitation she made, every glance of doubt strengthened the boundary I had drawn. She began to pack again, slower this time, less certain, less in control. The space she had assumed she could enter with entitlement now felt foreign. Not because I said it, not because I yelled it, but because the law, the authority, and my calm presence reinforced it. I wandered the halls while she worked, letting each room echo with my choices. The grandeur of the mansion was irrelevant. What mattered was that it was mine, and mine alone. The power I had reclaimed wasn't loud or visible. It was quiet, deliberate, undeniable, but it came with solitude. I thought of the years lost, the conversations I never had, the dinners I never attended. Reclaiming my space didn't undo the past. It didn't restore the family I had lost, or erase the subtle pain of being deemed unworthy. But it restored me, and for the first time in years, I could breathe in a house that reflected not what others wanted of me, but what I had built for myself. She left eventually, moving slower than she had arrived. The click of the front door echoed like punctuation, marking the end of an unspoken chapter. Silence returned, filling the rooms and halls, settling over furniture and walls, over the echoes of memory and absence. Relief came, sharp and unadorned, mingled with a hollow ache that would not vanish. There was dignity in this victory, but it was quiet, private, and measured. I walked through the empty halls, touching the walls lightly as if confirming that the space and the life within it truly belonged to me. Power without spectacle, calm authority without aggression. The mansion was no trophy. It was a home because I had chosen it, because boundaries had been recognized, because my voice, though unspoken, had been heard in the only language that mattered. I paused at the grand window overlooking the grounds. Morning light stretched across the lawns, spilling into the rooms in long, warm fingers. The house was empty, my presence the only one echoing through it. I could live here alone, unshaken, whole enough. I could inhabit this space without apology, without fear, without compromise. And I did.